Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, please subscribe. All you have to do is hit the red subscribe button right down below. So today I wanted to give you a tutorial on my daughter's very first haircut. So we're just basically going to do a clean up and trim up her ends and just kind of even it out because she still has it pretty uneven from being just, baby hair. So we're just going to clean that up today. Are you excited for your first haircut? All right, well, let's get started.
Okay, so to begin, purchase a children's haircutting cape to place around your child just to keep them nice and comfortable. As always, I will link all the products that I'm using today down below, and it will just keep them comfortable and not itchy during your haircut. Next, use a water spray bottle just to spray down all the hair and make sure that it's evenly saturated, because any hair that is not evenly saturated will result in an uneven haircut. And then go ahead and grab your barber comb and comb that all through to be sure that it is evenly saturated so you can begin your cut. Next, comb all the hair straight down in the back, and you don't want to use too much tension, especially with my daughter. If your daughter has wavy hair, you don't want to use too much tension because that can also result in it being uneven. So just use light tension here, and then go ahead and start a guide on however much length that you would like to cut off. We are not taking off much length at all. We're just basically cleaning this up. So I'm really not taking too much off the ends here, just enough to make it even. So go ahead and cut straight across on the length that you desire for your haircut, and just keep it going straight across, pulling the hair straight down and then matching it with your guide that you started. Then on the sides, you can just work straight up and then blend it into the section that you started cutting at the bottom in the back. You're just going to blend it all the way around, taking off the length that you desire. Again, I'm trying to let my daughter's hair grow out, so I'm really not taking much off the length here at all. Just basically cleaning up the ends to make sure they look nice and clean and not dry and frazzled like they were before. And now I'm just doing the same thing on the opposite side here, blending it all down to the section that we did in the back at the beginning. Okay, and then here I am just combing everything through, and then you'll want to just take a middle section up the head and the back. And you can see when you comb it all straight out away from the scalp, you will see your guide that you started at the very bottom. So what I'm doing is I'm just matching that guide from originally cutting it at the bottom and pulling it straight out, and you can see there how it's longer at the top. You just want to cut that all straight up to where it's even. So just take a middle section up the back, again taking a piece of the middle section that you just did so that you can see your guide working straight up again. You can see how it's longer there in the middle than it is at the bottom. So just start with your guide, pull it straight out, and then cut directly up just to make it an even line. Cutting it straight all the way up again, and you're just going to take little sections around the whole head right here, working all the way around, taking that guide with you and just matching it to the top. My girl was a little squirmy, so it was kind of hard and challenging to film this, but I did my best for you guys. Also, even if you don't have a daughter, if you maybe have a son that you want a little bit longer of a haircut, this is the same tutorial that you will use. Just determine the length that you would like for your child and do the exact same thing here. So I'm still just taking sections out from the head, and you can see again how it's longer at the top there than it is at the bottom. So you're just matching it up to the already cut at the bottom section. Just pull it straight out, and you'll just want to match up the shorter section to the top, and then just trim the long pieces that you see when you pull it straight out. And then as you can see here, I'm starting to take sections up further up on the head just to kind of go ahead and get it blended to the top section. So you can feel free to go ahead and start doing that as well. But the next step, I'll show you how we cut the top. So here I'm just going back through and taking more sections out and just kind of cross-checking my work just to make sure that I have everything evenly cut. So feel free to cross-check your work as many times as you need to, just to be sure that it's all nice and even. Okay, so here I'm just moving on to the opposite side of the head and doing the exact same thing that I just did. Taking a section of the previously cut section, pulling it out with more hair that I need to cut on the opposite side, and then I'll be able to see my guide right in there and where I need to cut. So I'm just matching the previously cut bottom section to the top, and you'll see the longer hair at the top again that you need to trim. Still just pulling the hair straight up to the top to make sure that it's all nice and blended to the top section when we cut that next. And here you'll see I just worked all the way around to the front on that side of the head, and that will complete this whole side. Haircuts on younger toddlers and babies are definitely more challenging to do as they are pretty squirmy naturally. So I have found that, giving them snacks, suckers, anything like that as a treat to kind of keep them occupied is also very helpful. Okay, so now we're starting at the very last section. I'm just combing all of the hair on top straight down to kind of trim the bang area. And here again, I'm not taking off much length at all. I'm just basically cleaning up the ends because I want that to grow out. So take as much length as you need off on the front. And again, if you're doing a boy's haircut, you can take it shorter. It's the same exact thing, you're just doing it shorter to the length that you want. So once you trim the very front bang section, then you'll just bring everything straight up, and you can see in the front there how it's shorter. And I'm just going to go ahead and line everything up and trim the hair until it's even to that front section there. And then you'll just take that section and work all the way back to the crown of the head just to make it all one nice even line. Okay, so next you'll basically just want to cut everything even to the guide that you just created. Again, if your child's hair is starting to get a little dry, spray it down again just to make sure that it's all still evenly saturated, so it will be an even haircut. Then you'll just want to comb all the hair straight up. You will see the middle section that you just cut down the middle of your child's head. You'll see that it's shorter in the middle. So you're just going to bring the hair straight up and then cut everything across even to that guide in the middle. And then just work your way down the sides of the head and just make sure that it's all even. So again, there you can just see how it's a little bit shorter in the middle, and I'm just really just cutting a straight line right across, bringing it down to the sides and making sure that it's all even there. And just keep doing this in sections across the whole top of the head until everything has been cut. And once you feel like you have everything cut and even, you can just go back and just cross-check again as many times as you need to, just to make sure that everything is nice and even. And then here I'm just combing our hair how I normally do. where I part her hair, and then I will show you how to check all of your work and make sure that both sides are even. That can be a challenging part sometimes. So here I'm just dragging the hair straight down with my fingers and measuring, on each side of her head to be sure that everything is evenly cut.
Alright, so that wraps up my tutorial on a toddler girl's first haircut. So as you can see, her hair just lays much more nicely. It's more blended. There were chunks up here that were longer than the bottom, so now it just is blended so much more nicely, even though we didn't take much off the length. We just went ahead and shampooed it and blow dried it and just kind of swept it back, because she still has these bangs that are trying to grow out, so I always like to just pin a bow right on those to hold them back out of her face. But that's it. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, and please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Say bye, Brindley. Bye.